Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 251 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. 99 problems you do not have. There's one problem that you possess, and that problem happens to be your flat, flabby, no space, no carbon foot of a gluteus maximus. I have this problem, but it's not my problem. Last episode 250, I was bemoaning, I was whining, I was being a little toddler having a temper tantrum about verbal graffiti and how nobody's watching. How we're having no success with it. There's no eyeballs, there's no viewers, there's no subscribers, there's 83. And a tip of my penis to all 83 of you if you are one of those 83. But the metrics say that verbal graffiti is a failed project. And the entire episode was me, 250 that is, was me trying to hype myself up, trying to justify the merits of this project, Verbal Graffiti. Well, enough with that, right? Enough with me muddling around the internet, complaining about myself. That's my only problem. It's Verbal Graffiti. This. Like, I could live with this. Do know, there are women out there, and guys too, sorry, babes and Johns out there who concern themselves, are all concerned, all time consuming, all their brain power goes towards their butthole. Not the actual hole, but the cheeks surrounding the butthole. That's all they think about. That's all. There's a babe out there right now who's perfect. She's perfect genetics. She's white. Is the Aryan the superior race? I don't know. I'm not getting into that. But let's just say she's white. Hell, hey, she's Asian. She's Hispanic. She's black. She's a babe. And she has skin, regardless of her skin color. It's olive. She has beautiful skin. She's 26 years old. There's no split ends in her hair. Her hair goes down the mid-arm. It flows. When she goes for a jog, she puts it in a little bun, but it has so much vibrance to her hair. Let's say it's a dirty brunette. It bounces. Yeah, when you're jogging, you're just one of those great jogs. You go for a jog, and you're behind the lady, the 26-year-old with the perfect body and the bouncing bun of hair. And you as a jogger who keeping a good pace, an 8-minute mile. Maybe you're quicker. Maybe you're a 7.5-minute, 7-minute pace. And a lady in front of you that you kind of like the view of. And you would kind of like to continue having this view, but there's that conundrum you have of, well, if I keep my pace, I am going to pass this babe. And the view of her behind, which there really isn't any because she has a flat ass, but she has a nice bun, and she's far enough in the distance where, wow, this is awesome. But again, if I keep my pace and I'm keeping pace this run, I'm going to pass her very quickly, and I'm just going to see a path or a road or just a fat single mom with a stroller who's just, shaped like a fat pear. That has seeds, and I don't know. But inevitably you run. You pass her, you look back, you do a quick look back to try to see if she's busty or not. And of course she is, but you're trying to do it quickly where she doesn't notice you, or it's not as apparent as you're hoping it to be. You're trying to get a quick glance and then move on with your run because you're focused on your run. But this isn't about you. It's about that babe. Again, she's athletic. She can run. She runs a mile in under 10 minutes, keeps that pace. That's a pretty good pace for a babe. For a guy, hell no. But for a babe, it's all right. But she's got the bouncy hair. And she has this, her pheromones are pheromoning. And she's one of those babes where you close your eyes, and even though she's 10 feet ahead of you, you could still smell her because her pheromones are that strong and potent. She's got the olive skin. She's got the hazel eyes. You don't know what color they are. Are they blue? Are they green? It's depending on the light and the angle of the sun and the overcast. So you go with hazel, whatever they are. You're enamored with her eyes. And not just you, everybody. Because she just has fantastic genetics. She's 5'6". Oh, just above average for a babe. Her legs, no cellulite in sight. No veins. Just olive skin. Perfect shape. Just perfect legs. This babe, she probably doesn't even know what cankles are. Her ankles are defined. You can see the bones. You can see the little ball. She's flat stomach, busty. Not busty, but a full C cup. Victoria's Secret. Right? It's not. She doesn't need a push-up bra or a sports bra. It's just those, and they're firm. But they're bouncy. They're real. They're real boobs. They're immaculate. They're real and they're fantastic. Or they're real and they're spectacular. What is that from Seinfeld? She shaves her arms, but she barely has any body hair. She barely has to shave her body. Right? And you don't know what her pubic hair looks like, but you know it ain't a full bush. Maybe there's a little bit. You don't know. You've never seen her naked. But this babe, she's seen herself naked. So she knows what her pubic hair is like. She has her areolas. I like my areolas a little larger than normal, than average. But I'm a perverted weirdo like that. But her nipples, they go out just enough. They're not inverted, but they don't protrude too far. They're just where you get a good grasp, good grasp of her nipples. Right? You don't really. They're there. They're there. Like a car battery. They're just right there. And, the boobs are not too far apart, but they're not too close to each other either. They're just perfect. They're just perfect. Flat stomach, not a six-pack, but flat. Of course, she has an innie outie button. Sorry, an innie belly button. An outer belly button would exclude her from having the perfect body. It would probably exclude her from being a human being. Honestly, do you view somebody with an outie belly button as a human being? I don't. I'm not saying they're subhuman, but I certainly don't view you as a human if you have an outie belly button. She's just, everything about her is glamorous. Right? They talk about scarlets in Hollywood, how they glow. And honestly, the screen doesn't do it justice. When you see these celebrities, these scarlets in person, you understand why they're movie stars. Learn how to speak, pronunciate your words, B-man, 2 episodes in a row. But you get the fact. Whatever you view the perfect body as, this babe has it. It's overflowing. Or may I have another? No, I can't give you another. I gave you 1 cup and it's overflowing. But she has one problem, one flaw to her body. It's her butt cheeks. They don't exist. She has butt cheeks that resemble the butt cheeks of the B-man. They're flat. There's no definition to them. All right? There's no... her jeans fall off. She can't wear pants that stay on because there's nothing holding them up. Her backside is flat. She doesn't have there's a small of her back. It does not exist because it goes from back to butt cheek. Sorry, it goes from back to leg. There's no butt cheeks. They're there, but there's nothing to spank. There's nothing to grab. There's nothing to hold her jeans or her trousers up. And this is all consuming. Anybody else looks at this babe in the mirror or in person, especially if she was naked, and you'd be in awe. You'd have a stiffy. You'd have an erection. You'd probably have a premature ejaculation. I know I would. Actually, I'm not a premature ejaculator. We'll save that for another episode. But in her mind, the butt cheek is glaring, or the lack thereof, I should say. The lack of butt cheeks is glaring. It's all consuming. It's all she thinks about. When she goes to the gym, her fitness center, that's all she works on. That's all she works on. She does squats, she does lunges, she does the machines, any leg workout or any scrunch workout that can strengthen her butt cheeks, that can give her some more definition. That's what she's doing when she's at the gym for 75 minutes, 4 days a week. Think about that. Think about that. Appreciate that for what it is, or even scowl, even to scruff at it. I don't really know how to view it, to be honest with you. There are babes that you know in real life, that's all they do at the gym is work on their gluteus maximus. They hate their parents. They hate their genetics. They honestly don't want to have kids of their own because they don't want to pass along the flat ass to their children. And that babe is doing everything within her power that she's physically capable of doing, of performing, to gain butt cheeks. It's amusing when you think of it, because it's a reality. It's true. There are babes who just every day they look in the mirror. Maybe they have like the mirrors on double sides, and they're looking and they're disgusted with what's not behind them. Their butthole could be beautiful. They could get anal bleaching. There's no brown between the cheeks. It's just a perfect little pink. There's no darkness between the hole and the skin that forms the cheek. There's just the little rib. There's just a little rib, the balloon knot. That's all it is. But there's no a discoloration there. It could be the perfect butthole of all the buttholes that have ever existed in humanity. But the cheeks, you could see the butthole because the cheeks don't come out. So the hole is it's prevalent, it's visible, because there's no cheeks to hide the hole. And that's what bothers her. Because she's on Instagram, she's on TikTok, she's on Snapchat. Right? She goes to the gym, she has girlfriends. All right, some of her friends have amazing asses. And she's as heterosexual as a woman as you'll ever meet. She sucked all the dicks. Right? When she was in high school, she was the dick sucker. In college, she sucked everybody's dick, not just the fraternity brothers, not just the athletes, not just the chess players. She was sucking dick all up and down the dorm floor her freshman year. She's put in hundreds of dick-sucking sessions with hundreds of different men. She can't get enough of that dick in her mouth. And what a mouth it is. Perfect, puffy lips. She can deep throat. She no gag reflex. And she loves the fuck. And she loves her femininity. She loves femininity. She loves her sexuality. She loves to live. She loves to party. The problem is, though, she goes to these parties, right? She gets dressed up with her girlfriends. They get all dolled up. They're wearing mini dresses, or maybe they're going to the beach and they're wearing bikinis, one pieces, or whatever. They're wearing, Daisy Dukes and halter tops, and they're going out. They're doing Jello shots. And she cannot enjoy herself because she'll be there with her girlfriends. And she can't stop looking at her girlfriends who have a more pronounced butt cheeks than she does. And even me, or even you, or John, Right? If you could see the butt cheeks of her friends that she's jealous of, maybe there's some cellulite. Maybe there's some discoloration. Maybe there's some hair. Maybe there's some dimples. But it doesn't matter because to her, there's actual cheeks. There's actually something that can be grabbed by a person of the opposite sex while making love to someone you know, someone you kind of don't know, whatever it may be. Like there's oomph. There's cheeks. There's a little bit of jiggle. And it eats away at her. She can't have fun. She has fun, but she needs the help of drugs and alcohol to get her mind off the butt cheeks that she does not possess, but that friends in her friend group do have. Right? She's being like her friends aren't even trying to butt cheek mock her. They're just living, yeah. They're wearing tight Daisy Duke shorts, maybe a skirt, because they're flat chested. Like she has better boobs than most of her friends do. Her nipples, her areolas are certainly better than all her friends. She areola mogs everybody in her group. But the problem is, when you're out at a bar or restaurant or on the beach, nobody can see her nipples. Maybe you see, they're a little stiff or a little hard so you can actually see them, but nobody's seeing the areola because they have to be covered. Whether they should or should not have to be covered, that's a debate for another episode. I'm sure we'll have that debate at some point here at Verbal Graffiti. But she can't, you can't areola mog your friends when your areolas have to be covered. But even though the butt cheeks are covered, although she does have two friends who wear thong bikinis, which we appreciate, you could cover the butt cheeks, but if you have cheeks, you can see them, at least the shape of them. Even though you don't see the skin of them, you can see the formation of them. But when she wears a bikini bottom or a dress or a skirt or some Daisy Dukes, she keeps having to pull them up because she has a flat stomach combined with a flat ass. So they keep sliding off. So she keeps having to pull them up. And even if they fell down, none of us would know, it's just back, legs. There's no cheeks. And that's why she goes to the gym 4-5 days a week. She's not doing cardio. Right? She's not doing arms. She's not in the sauna. She's not doing Pilates or any bullshit group exercise. Squats, lunges, deadlifts, heavy. She's lifting heavy. She's trying to get as much definition, as much muscle as she can to form some butt cheeks. But they just don't come. And that's her problem. She's been working on getting butt cheeks since 17 years old. And now she's 26. She's put in over a decade trying to get some glutes. And she's flat as a frozen pancake. That's a problem. That's a problem. And what's amusing about it to me is there were so many babes like this imaginary babe that I just made up who will really do this. They'll wake up tomorrow or they'll go to bed tonight and they'll look in the mirror, as they're getting ready for bed or for the day. And they'll be disgusted. And they'll just, how the fuck do I not have an ass? Like, I have everything. I squat 200 pounds. Like, how do I not have any definition on my butt cheeks? Nobody wants to give me anal sex. I get all the hot Johns, the Chads, the Chuds, everybody, my professors, my colleagues, my coworkers. Like, I love anal sex, but nobody wants to fuck my asshole because I got no cheeks to clap. And it's just that eats at her. Like that visual is funny. Like, that's fun. That I find that to be, maybe I'm just a weirdo like that, but that is funny. The babe who's just looking in the mirror. Where's my ass? Why couldn't I have Samantha's genetics? Why couldn't I have Jennifer's genetics? No, I have a flat ass. And that's why BBLs are so prevalent as they are today. That's why they're all the rage. The BBLs, Brazilian butt lift. I could not imagine getting a BBL, but hey, do you? And if you have a flat ass, you probably should get a BBL. Because it's embarrassing. Going to the beach or the club or the cocktail party, the gala. You imagine going to the gala with a flat ass when all your colleagues, your female colleagues, they're knocking over glasses of champagne with how much jiggle they have in their ass cheeks. And not you. You're flat as can be. I get it. I get why BBLs are a thing. Now, I have a flat ass and I accept it. I move forward. Every once in a while, I look back on it. I get it. I get why no one wants to be with the B-man, but the babes, like, it becomes their personality. Their whole personality is, I'm going to the gym to get an ass. I gotta get on the level of my girlfriends. Speaking of ass, I had quite the interaction, the non-interaction with a lady, with a babe, I think, on a dating app yesterday, 2 days ago at this point. So it's a night. Maybe it was Sunday night. I'm bored. It's right before I'm going to bed, so I'm scrolling. I'm on this dating app called FEELD, which is, I'm not sure if it's a kink dating app or it's definitely a kink-friendly dating app. FEELD, FEELD. I think I've mentioned it a few times on this site before. I'm banned off the Hinge, so like I gotta find these weird dating apps because I'm not on Hinge and Bumble. They don't let the B-man say what he wants to say on those, so I'm banned for life from them. That's how I find myself on these kink off the main road dating app sites. Anyway, I'm on it. I'm swiping. I'm mostly swiping left or no because most of the babes on FEELD are morbidly obese, have a lot of tattoos, septum piercings, and it's wild. It's a zoo. It's a zoo. Scrolling through some of these photos, and I'm no better. So I have a flat ass just like the rest of you. But I find a babe with a nice ass. She's wearing a thong. That's her main photo. Not showing her face. I'm like, all right. I scroll down. It's pictures of her ass cheeks. She's wearing thongs. She's bending over. She's not showing her face. She's 4 miles away, per what the app tells me. So I swipe right. Right, like yes, heart, yes, I'll match with you. Thinking nothing of it. Right away, I'm like, well, she's not going to match with me. And immediately, she'd already matched with me. So it gives you that little dopamine rush. And this app is, the John, you're allowed to message her first. So I don't know, I messaged her something and she responded. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, and that's funny to me. Year 2026, I find myself interacting with a babe on a dating app site, and all I've seen of her are her butt cheeks, not her face, not her front side. All I know about her is her butt cheeks, her age, and their distance from me. All of which were check, yes, please. And we started talking. Wow, she's a real person. Right? She lives the next town over. We're having a good conversation. Right? We're asking each other questions. I asked her, what's in your handbag? And then she answers. And then tells me, well, what did that tell you about me? Me telling you what's in my handbag. I was like, well, you're into femininity. Because she had lip gloss. She had AirPods. So, you're not buying cheap products. You're buying the best of the best. I like that. And it shows me that she only listed 3 or 4 or 5 items. It shows me that you're not high maintenance. Right? You're not carrying around a bunch of products all day. And I listed what all those products and what that told me about her, and she was impressed. She's like, "Well, that's actually." But that one answer I gave you, you were able to find out a lot about me. Yet I didn't see her face, just her butt cheeks. And that's the dating market in 2026. You can find yourselves in multi-day long conversations via text with a babe, or I guess maybe John too, who you don't know what they look like. You just see one feature that's very appetizing, and you just kind of hope for the rest. But we're talking that night, maybe, I don't know, half hour, and she was watching Love Island, and then she had to go to bed. It was 10 p.m. So right away, that was a bit of if you go to bed at 10 p.m., it ain't going to work with the B-man. Because I'm doing stand-up till usually 11. I'm usually not getting home till, at least 11 p.m. Like at 10 p.m., I haven't been to bed at 10 p.m. or earlier. Like, I don't even know how long. Anyway, so we're like, all right, well, whatever. You have a nice ass. I'll continue this. So the next morning, she messages me, and we're messaging for, I don't know, maybe a half hour while I work. I'm assuming, hopefully, she has some type of work because, I'm looking for somebody to pay my bills. I ain't paying your bills, so hopefully you can help me with mine, or at least my standard of living that I've grown accustomed to. And she was telling me what she likes in a guy. She asked me how tall I was. B-man, I'm 6 feet tall, maybe 5'11", because I slouch a little bit. My posture, it's not up to snuff. But we're having what I think to be a good conversation. And I tell her about my Instagram page, Brian Glass Comic. Check it out. I said, well, check out my page. You'll find out my personality, what my voice sounds like. You could if you look at my Instagram page, you'll kind of get a sense of what kind of guy I am, or at least what my sense of humor is. And then maybe 5 minutes later, she unmatched me. There's no, hey, you're not the right fit for me. She unmatched me. And I went, huh, all right. Oh, whatever. So I spent a night and a morning talking to a babe that really all I saw of her was her butt cheeks. Very dystopian. Standing back and viewing it from afar, what I actually did one night, one morning, having a pleasant conversation via phone text or app text. And I really had she has 2 nice butt cheeks. I'll give it a go. All right, we're in a similar age range. I'll give it a go. And then she unmatched me, which shows you the power, or at least shows me the power of womanhood and the position of power babes are in terms of dating apps and perhaps the dating market in general. Because I don't get very many matches on dating apps. So the last time I got a match on this app called FEELD was December of last year. So there's a good chance I won't get another match on this app the rest of this year, 2026, which is a long way of me saying, like, I don't just end conversations. When there's a babe who will match with me that I find myself somewhat attracted to, at least her pictures, which are usually edited, a lot of filters, I'll try to keep the conversation going, or at least I'll try to get offline and in real life as quickly as possible, because I know these babes can just end the conversation instantly and find another guy right away, whereas I cannot. So that's the power dynamic. Like, there I am having a conversation with a babe who I've only seen her backside. She only had photos of her ass. And I knew some of her kinks that she was into. And I'd fuck with those. I'm a kinky guy. But, and she seemed to have a personality. And I was willing to, my objective like yesterday was to try to get her to meet in person. But before I could even get to that, like, hey, like, let's meet up for a drink, she blocked, or didn't block, but she disconnected from me. And it just goes like, oh, I was willing, because I get so few likes, so few matches, that when I match with the babe, like, I'm going to message you, and I'm going to try to keep the conversation going, fun, lighthearted. Hey, let's meet up. I try to get the meet up as quickly as possible, because I know you babes have so many options. But there I am. She unmatches me, and here I am today. And I'm in the position where, well, at least on this app, there's a good chance the rest of this year, nobody's going to match with me. So I'm back to zero, no sniz, there's no options at all. You know, a lot of guys in the manosphere, the red pill, they'll tell you the answer is abundance. Have an abundance of women, babes, and then you don't have to deal with any of their bullshit. Because once one of them gives you bullshit or gives you attitude, goodbye. I got another. I got a harem. I got a concubine of babes just waiting for me. The problem is, that is the answer. I agree. It's not easy to get an abundance of babes when you don't get any matches. And when you go up to babes in real life, they kind of snarl at you or give you, like, what are you, creepy bald guy coming up to me? Ooh, you're old. You're skinny. You got noodle arms. You're balding. I get it. Ooh, you're wearing a flower shirt. How unmanly of you. I get it. It's just saying, like, I don't have abundance, but this babe does. Because the conversation was going all right. It was fun. It was engaging. Boom. She dropped the hammer. No more. I'll never see this ass cheeks ever again. But I know how these apps work. And she probably has, 50 guys in her inbox. She'll just start a conversation with the next one. So if you're not perfect, if you don't meet whatever she saw not right with me, maybe it was, so she knew what I looked like. Because my apps, well, I have I'm not just showing my muscles, I'm showing my face and everything. But it's like, oh, so I'm in the pool alone, drowning, because she deleted me, which is her right. And there she is. There's just a line of guys that she can start a conversation with, and, it's never ending. So if there's one metric about you, she doesn't like your teeth. You're not tall enough. Your biceps or whatever it may be that she doesn't find attractive about you. There's 50 guys. And whatever you don't have, one of those Johns does. And she'll start a conversation with that guy. And that guy will engage with her because she has nice butt cheeks. It's the power dynamic. Not in my favor. Not in the B-man. But hey. As it's life. I go on. We got verbal graffiti. We got smut. She doesn't have the B-man. Her loss. Although I would have liked to play with those butt cheeks. What could have been? It's just the dynamic. Wow. I envy. And I don't. Do I envy her position? No, I don't. Because if I had that many options, I'd be a floozy. No doubt about it. I'd be out there. I'd have every STD. I would have gotten pregnant, and I'd probably have 5 babies by now if I was a babe. Because I wouldn't be able to say no. I'd be in a relationship. Have a boyfriend. And then someone hits me in the DM, or I have a dating app, or I'm in person. It's just, if you have endless options... Like, honestly, when I watch smut, I'm always looking for a new lady of the night. Like I have my go-to porn stars, my go-to videos, but every time I'm gooning, like, I'm looking for something new. I imagine babes in real life are kind of doing that. Like, you have your boy toy. Hell, maybe even you have your husband, but you have your eye out. And if guys if you make eye contact, or someone sends you a message at the right time, or when you're ovulating and you're horny, like I would jump on it. I would not be able to stay faithful. I'd be a floozy. I'd be out. I'd be a lady of the night. That's who to be. If I was to be lady, I would be a lady of the night. Like, I would not be able to, I'd be throwing my sniz left and right. Anybody who looked my way, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Fuck me in the bathroom. Bend me over the stall. Don't even lock the door. If another guy comes in, he can come inside me as well. Hey, that's the type of attitude I would have. I can't blame you, babe, for doing that. But I don't envy it. Like, I don't know how I would. I don't know how I would function. That I don't know how I would survive my daily life with that many options. How would you be able to? I don't think I'd be able to focus on work, my career, family, friends, hobbies. It would just, guys, it'd be all consuming. Dick. There's so much dick. So much fucking to be had. Like, I just, you'd be able to see it on my face. How much, when you see a baby, go, she's a dick sucker. Like, she sucked. Like, I love a dick sucker. Well, when you see a babe who sucked too much dick, you can see it on her face. It's ever present, and you just know. And it's like, oh, she sucked too much dick. Too many separate dicks. Too many different dicks have been in her mouth. There's a look. There's almost not even the skin is just, it's weathered. You could be 22 and you could have that weathered skin on your cheeks because you've sucked too many different dicks. That's kind of what I would have if I was a babe. Like, I wouldn't be able to contain myself. Right? Like, I'd be a bum. I'd be probably a drug addict, an alcoholic. Because I'd be chasing that dick every night. There's dick. That, like, all I have to do is say hi, and they'll fuck me. They'll let me suck their dick. Like, if I was a babe, like, I'd be going out every night. I would lose sleep. I'd lose friendships. I'd lose jobs. I'd lose my freedom. Because I just wouldn't be able to contain myself with the endless supply of dick available to me. So, like, I don't envy that, because I would not be able to function in society having that many options available like that with the swipe of an app, with a hello, nice to meet you at a bar or a restaurant or on the street. But I'm on so far the other spectrum where there's just nothing available to me. There's nothing. I try, but I wouldn't say there's nothing, but it's a few times a year, if I'm lucky. A good year is a few times a year. That the gap between where Miss Butt Cheeks the other night was at and where I'm at, it's two different worlds. I would just like the distance to be. I'm not even saying that she has to come back to me where I have no options, but it'd be nice if I was a little bit towards her, where I'm not saying I have an abundance of babes. Just, hey, all right, and then someone I could go back to. Maybe 3-on-3 basketball. I don't even need a full lineup. Just 3-on-3. I got 2 or 3 on my team, and then we go. But that gap. Yeah, I'd be Xing off guys too if I was living in her world or your world, where I don't even think they could comprehend the lack of options that some of us Johns have. Again, it's like I'm in awe of her options, but I don't envy it. Right? Maybe it'd be nice to dance in her thong for a week. But I'd be worn out. That's going to Vegas 48 hours and get me back home. That's me being a woman, a hot babe. It's a Vegas trip. We go in Friday night, we leave Sunday night. You don't stay an entire weekend, because anything more than 48 hours in Vegas or being a babe, I'd be in detox. It is amusing to me, though, the different worlds. Like, she X'd me out fine. And she probably moves on to the next guy. She probably hasn't given me any thought. And she'll be on my mind for the next 2 weeks. Hell, probably the rest of this year. That's life. Go suck a fat one.